already.
Taryne needs to gloss. Wait, can that be the intro?
Why do you love? You know what? I was listening.
I love like the fun, like it just starts.
Yeah, I know you do. But I was listening to I was just watching myself put on lip gloss, and I've never put on lip gloss like that. Like it looks so
weird.
unnatural.
It felt like a little kid.
No, it felt like a
putting
man
on
trying
chapstick
to
for the first time. Yeah.
like what?
And I say that specifically because I just witnessed that, like a child putting on chapstick and like missing their lips, and that felt like what you were doing.
You know why? Because I have the most beautifully shaped top lip. It's like very
is
pointy.
that a fact?
it's like a straight up M, and so like when I can't just be like, you know what I mean? Like
For sure.
swoop.
Yeah.
Like I gotta.
There's like TK's lips that are just like the most round.
Yeah.
Where you just
Can't relate.
Yeah.
I gotta be like precise. Okay. Well, is that? Are we? Did we just start?
Should we go? Okay, so it's January, it's the new year, and all we are talking about these days is productivity. So let's talk about it. It seems like everyone that I'm talking to is desperately wanting to do more, to be more efficient, and I'm gonna put myself in the same boat. That's all I've been trying to do this month also. So let me introduce you guys to the little elixir that has helped me stop procrastinating and that helps put a little pep in my step every morning. It's called Magic Mind. This little shot has improved my morning so much. I love that I can take it with me anywhere and drink it whenever I need a quick little boost of energy. Magic Mind makes me more productive and more focused. I get more done in less time thanks to the nootropics inside that improve attention, concentration, and cognition, which is something I've always desperately struggled with. So if you're like me, I totally recommend you go check them out at magicmind.com/janadvice and join a community of go-getters. You can also use my discount code ADVICE to get up to 56% off your first subscription of 20% off of your first time purchase. My 56% off code only lasts 10 days, so you better hurry up.
Did we start the episode? Let me take my camera off because I'll just stare at myself all day.
You have your camera on?
Yeah, because I was putting lip gloss on.
Did you break your computer?
Oh no!
What just happened? Guys, we're a mess today.
I have one of those things that so people can't watch you. It popped off.
I have one because you gave it to me.
Yeah.
From years ago.
Let's just talk about all the things that I've gifted you.
Oh, well, currently I just got
No.
my birthday present and my
5-minute wheeze.
My birthday present.
I'm saying like I
love
got
them.
you the screen protector. I got you a key that turns into a knife.
Yes.
I feel like I always buy you like self-defense. You know what I mean?
You mean the two things? Those two things? I wouldn't say always, but sure.
I was like, wait, is there anything else? Never mind. Anyways.
I just loved how you were like, I love how I always.
Shut up, Ashley.
Oh, God. Guys, I just want to take a moment and just do a quick disclaimer. I apologize for my voice sounding awful. I'm bringing the sexy version of Smelly Cat.
Ashley, I just want to tell you.
What?
Sexy sick
I'm
is
joking.
when it's just in your voice.
I'm totally joking right now.
When it's congestion, I don't think that's technically sexy.
I was joking
Were
because
you?
I'm obviously trying to pretend like I'm what's her name?
Phoebe. Yeah. If you're
The sick
watching
voice.
YouTube, can they see your tissues? Yeah, your tissues are in frame. We love it.
I forgot mine today.
Today's episode is sponsored by
Oh, I would
Kleenex.
love puffs specifically with lotion because my nose is in need.
I was
and
dying.
it deserves puffs. Indeed.
Were you doing you did a reel or something the other day and you were like getting ready, and in your getting ready you were like putting Aquaphor on your nose?
Yeah.
I was like, that's
it was
that's
my
a real
I'm
time.
sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that. We love the honesty.
I got sick last week. I've been struggling with it, trying to get over it, and I cannot shake the runny nose.
Yeah.
And then if you're anywhere in Southern California right now, it's like Santa Ana winds.
Yeah.
So every time I step outside, I'm just like sneezing, My skin is cold. It's really cold in
Yeah.
LA right now. It was like 43 yesterday.
It was brutal.
It was wild.
I do think though, and I don't think I'm making this up because I am a girl with allergies. Like you're either like you have allergies,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or you don't. Or you like occasionally get it. But like the girlies who like have lived with allergies their whole life, they get it. But I swear sometimes if your allergies are super bad, there's like this fine line where it'll go over into like now you're sick.
I think what it does is I think it like your nose, your throat, all of those things that are connected, I think become more susceptible because they're more raw,
Yeah.
you know,
Sure.
because they're just more, you know,
Don't say any of the words you're going to say.
well, just raw, like irritated.
Yeah.
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 So like bacteria and stuff is going to like affect it more when it's more irritated. Anyways, this is not a science.
Wow. What are we talking about?
I don't know. This is the world's worst intro.
Is this still technically the intro?
I don't
feel
know.
like we're in it now.
God.
I feel like we are too far to go.
How have you been, Taryne?
Oh,
give us an update.
She just said, I'm going to stop you right
We need
there.
to pivot. We need to, someone's got to change something.
I'm trying to think. Well, so we pre-recorded a lot of episodes before the holidays.
Yeah.
To give us all time. Like all of us individually had like either traveling or family plans or different things. So
Holiday things.
we're finally like all together again.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why we're such a hot mess because like we're like giddy, like
We're like out of the swing of things.
kids in the candy store. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our first time back in studio.
I don't know if I have anything to update you on. Christmas was great. New Year's was great. I'm moving into a new apartment unit.
Exciting.
I know. My brother's getting married, so I have to live by myself for the first time.
Wait, so when are you moving?
Top of next month is when I get my unit. So, but it's actually really nice because I'm staying in the same building.
And on the same floor.
And on the same floor. So I literally am just getting like all the guys I know and a bunch of like dollies, and we're just gonna like.
That's literally perfect.
Yeah. And
so
what's cool is I extended, so I have my original apartment one extra day. So I'm going to have them move all the heavy stuff, and then I have a full day. Like I don't have to turn in my key till technically midnight the next day. So I'm just going to put music on and then like slowly bring stuff out of cupboards, decide what I want or don't want. Like I have the whole open space to do that.
Perfect.
So I'm really excited about that. But this is my first time living completely alone. I am on my period, so that has to be contributing, but I've been super emo. Like the day I found out I got approved for the apartment, I started crying and I was like, I think I'm happy, but then I was also getting sad about not living with Ryan anymore because like this has been such a gift. Yeah. Like I never thought I would like live with my brothers as like an adult, and I'm still sad I never got to experience that with Brett. But me and Ryan, like this has been like the best 2 years. Like it's been so much fun, and so I started getting emotional about that, and then I started getting scared because I was like, who am I going to talk to? What if something scary happens? Like I just knowing Ryan's like down the hall is comforting, you know?
Oh, was he keeping that place?
No. I'm saying like in general.
Excuse me.
No. I see where you went.
My brain's still.
I see where you went. So it was a mixture of things. So then I'm pulling into my apartment and I pass Ryan's parking spot to get to mine. So I always glance there and I saw his car and I was like, oh yeah, Ryan's home. And then that triggered me.
Yeah.
I started ugly crying, like ugly, can't control my face, crying. So I walk in and I swing open the door and I was just like, I'm just warning you, I'm very emotional right now. And he's just sitting on the couch staring at me like, what happened? And I'm just ugly, like sobbing and just telling him how it like just is hitting me that like, this is coming to an end. And he just sat there. It was so cute. Like he looked really sad too. He was like, I know, Tara, this has been the best. But
cute.
So yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited to do like get to decorate fresh and see like what I want to keep or not keep. And
end of one chapter, start of a new chapter. It's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna be so exciting. I can come help.
Yeah,
we can decorate together.
Come down.
I can bake things so it feels homey right away.
Would love.
So
yeah, I'm excited. That's my biggest new thing. What about you, Ash?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was the longest.
I'm so sorry. I don't
Were
think
you
there was, I was trying to think. I've been going through the ringer the last couple weeks. Obviously we pre-recorded all the last episodes. So real talk, Christmas was tough. I went.
No, but tell them about, have you talked about your curse, your travel curse?
Oh, no.
I think you should talk about it.
So my boyfriend believes, and
Not just your boyfriend.
now my family and everyone around me believes that every time I go somewhere, something happens to me. And I always get sick with something. And even for New Year's, I went to Idlewild with his friends. We all get a cabin. Couldn't breathe. My allergies were so bad. The last day I woke up, my eyes were swollen, almost shut. I
didn't know about this.
Kid you not. And Jackson just looked at me and he was like, "Are you kidding me?"
No,
and I was like, "I can't."
Everywhere she goes, and it's not just like, oh, I have a little cold. It's like,
it's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
And even Italy, remember on the plane?
Yeah.
You got sick.
I literally,
South
first
Africa,
time
you
threw
were
up on
down
the
for
plane
like days.
for no reason. Couldn't
Yeah.
tell you why.
Yeah.
South Africa, I'm pretty sure I had a parasite. And then long story short, for Christmas, I talked about this on my vlog channel, but I was so torn on if I stay home with my family and do Christmas or if I go with my boyfriend, because this would be my first time experiencing Christmas with him and his family, which would have been a big deal. And to make it even worse, his birthday's on Christmas Eve and mine is on Christmas.
Which is actually insane.
Like the odds of that is wild. But then like if I didn't go to Colorado for Christmas, I was going to miss his birthday. So long story short, my parents get COVID and I was like, done. Like that that changed all my plans. I'm going to Colorado. So I go to Colorado. I'm so excited to be with him on his birthday. I made all these plans for his birthday. The night of like the early morning of Christmas Eve, like 3 a.m., I wake up and I have the stomach flu. Don't know how I got it. Not even sure if it's a stomach flu, but I'm down bad the entire day. He's literally upstairs with his family, his grandpa, his sisters, their whole extended family having a birthday dinner. And I'm downstairs in the bathroom, like vomiting. Like I just could not be there.
I'm just picturing you on the toilet like,
I literally was so sad. And I gave him his presents as I'm like in bed, like looking so rough. He was great during the whole thing. The next day I felt fine. So we did Christmas. I'm like, yay, it must have been a 24-hour bug thing. And then the next day it comes back. So we ended up having to change our trip plans because I just wanted to be home. And I was like, this could be contagious. Like I shouldn't be around here. So we ended up changing our plans and coming home to not even a week later, I caught a cold.
Yeah. Your immune system is like on vacation.
And realistically, this whole year, something's been off. Like from the top of 2023 to the end, I was just constantly dealing with weird health issues. So I ended up going to the doctor last week.
Yeah.
And we did a bunch of tests. We did some blood work I told her I wanted like a food allergy test. I was like, something feels weird, which leads me to tearing it up that happened to me.
Oh my gosh, really?
But it also didn't because it wasn't public, but I was humiliated for myself. And I'm not going to go into detail. But one of those tests, clarifying, I'm not going to go into detail. So this isn't going to get gross. But I did have to do a stool sample.
Okay.
And
I've never had to do one of those. So I'm like, how did you?
Obviously, people do this.
Okay.
It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But for me,
honestly, I'm very proud of you for talking about this.
For me, it was a huge deal. They literally handed me a cup and they were like, all you have to do is bring it back the same day that you do it.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, but my doctor's in Pasadena.
Oh.
And I don't live in Pasadena. I live like a good distance away. So I'm like in LA. So I'm like, I don't want to drive all the way to my house to do this. And
I would have
only
just
to drive
gotten
it all the way back.
3 coffees and stayed in the area.
Exactly.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I don't want to leave, but I can't. I wasn't ready to go at that moment. So I'm like, what am I going to do? I found a blue bottle nearby. So I go to the blue bottle, order a black, pour over.
Love that.
I was like, this will do the trick.
That'll do it.
So I just sit there. I'm like scrolling on my phone, sipping my coffee. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I can do this now. And then I realize I have to go into a public bathroom and do this. And then I started sweating. I was like having a hard time breathing because I was like, I don't know if I can do this in a public restroom.
Yeah.
And it was mortifying. And I felt like I ran out of the bathroom when I was done because
you're like,
I didn't want to look at people because it was literally in my bag.
Ew.
In like a little hazard bag. And I was so humiliated, even though no one knew what I did.
Yeah.
Literally no one there knew, but there was someone waiting for the bathroom and I was like,
okay, but what a terrifying thought to know, like, you just literally were walking around with like your own turd in your bag, like
in my purse.
How many people do we pass that have weird stuff in their bags?
Yeah, and the bigger the bag, you never know what's going on.
My bag is huge.
Anyways, I had to do that. And then I had to go bring it back to the people and I was too humiliated to look at the nurse. There was like a little place I had to sign and like leave my specimen, what do you call it? I don't know, in this basket. And I like waited until she turned around and then dropped it in and left.
You would.
I was like, no, I can't look at her. It was humiliating, but we did
tearing it up. That was a brave.
It was scary.
Moment.
It was so scary. I was texting Jackson. I was like, I don't know if I could do this. And he was like, what happens if it overflows? And I was like, I can't talk about it. Like, God. I can't. I literally can't. It was so bad.
Crazy.
But we did it. And we're kind of mostly over the cold. So
yeah. Well, hopefully you
it's
find
all up
out
from here.
It's like one of those things where every time you do tests, you're like, I hope there's nothing. But then when you've been sick on and off for forever, you're like, I kind of hope there's like something. So
like
that
it would be nice to know, like, for example, if it was like milk or a specific type of thing, it would be so nice to know to just not avoid that.
No, for sure. Solved. Well, and that's a thing. Like, as adults, like, develop allergies as they get older. So could be. Mm-hmm. Could be, boo-boo.
Okay, so it's January, it's the new year, and all we are talking about these days is productivity. So let's talk about it. It seems like everyone that I'm talking to is desperately wanting to do more, to be more efficient, and I'm going to put myself in the same boat. That's all I've been trying to do this month also. So let me introduce you guys to the little elixir that has helped me stop procrastinating and that helps put a little pep in my step every morning. It's called Magic Mind. This little shot has improved my morning so much. I love that I can take it with me anywhere and drink it whenever I need a quick little boost of energy. You guys know I'm a coffee fanatic, but basically I was like pounding as much coffee as I possibly could to get this energy spike that I really needed. And this little shot has basically replaced that. Okay, let's be honest. It hasn't fully replaced my coffee. I still love having my cup of coffee in the morning. It's part of my morning routine, my morning ritual. But I've stopped needing the coffee. I've stopped needing the 3 extra cups of coffee that I was needing throughout the day. So this little shot has allowed me to drink less coffee. It has reduced my need for additional caffeine by extending the benefits of caffeine and by making less caffeine do more and last longer, making it more efficient, essentially. Magic Mind makes me more productive and more focused. I get more done in less time thanks to the nootropics inside that improve attention, concentration, and cognition, which is something I've always desperately struggled with. And better yet, Magic Mind allows me to sleep better. It's not heavy on caffeine, so you can take it in the afternoon without worrying about being able to fall asleep later that night. And the thing I love most about Magic Mind is it makes me feel better in the mornings and happier throughout my day thanks to the adaptogens that boost your mood and help you to relax. I totally stand behind Magic Mind because, well, it works. I've been taking it pretty constantly over the last 2 months and I am so happy with the results. So if you're like me, I totally recommend you go check them out at magicmind.com/janadvice and join a community of go-getters. You can also use my discount code ADVICE to get up to 56% off your first subscription of 20% off of your first time purchase. My 56% off code only lasts 10 days, so you better hurry up.
So I was gonna say something on the pod about an experience I've been having with someone at my apartment.
Yeah.
If you're lucky enough to be on My Close Friends, you saw this whole just unbreaking
story unfold
of me having a full-blown meltdown. And I would love to get people's opinions on this. So this guy moved in down the hall from me. And every time I see new people, I'm always like, oh my gosh, curious, right? And when you pass in the hall, this is my approach. I look down at my feet until I get probably like 6 to 8 feet from someone. Then I look up, make eye contact, say hi. Because I'm like, nobody wants you to just be like smiling at each other while you're walking for like 10 minutes. Like it's awkward.
Then you feel like you have to keep eye contact and then you don't know where to look after.
Yeah, so I'll be like fiddling in my bag or like looking at my feet or my phone. And then I look up and I'll say, hi, how's it going? Like whatever.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that's pretty standard.
Yeah. So I'm walking, I look up and I'm just staring because I'm like, oh. And so he walks straight past me. But like the thing is he wasn't even looking down. He was looking straight. So like he was straight up
at you,
avoiding looking at me. So I was like,
peripherally can tell that you're looking at him.
Yeah. I literally was like, oh, okay, that's fine. Like, here's the thing. Some people, social interactions are really hard. I feel like I'm very sensitive to that. So I don't really take offense to much.
Also, you are like such a social butterfly.
I am. And I'm an empath. So if I'm like, oh, someone feels weird, like, I'm not offended, whatever. So that was the first couple times. Like, I'm like, wow, this guy like really just like does not want to interact with me. That's fine. Then I started having these encounters with him where he would be walking not that far ahead of me. And most of the time, and this is what gets me, he would turn, see that I'm right behind him, and then just go through the door and let it slam on me. And our doors are, every single door is fob entry. So it's like, I have to like get my fob. And sometimes I'd be holding like a ton of groceries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
And so every time it happens, I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's annoying. But again, I don't expect anyone to wait for me.
Yeah.
Like I wait for people an abnormally long time just because I'm like, manners are everything to me.
But also if you see someone with bags of groceries,
exactly,
you do that.
Exactly. So there's been a few times where it was so freaking close that I was like, oh my God. And then it's awkward because then I'm walking literally 4 feet behind him all the way down the hall and he'll keep like glancing behind him. Like, I'm like, what do you think I'm going to do? Like jump you? Like, it's just weird. So this last time it got me, I'm going to say it triggered me. I was coming out of the elevator door, which the elevator door and the entry door they meet at a corner. So like you come out of the elevator and there's the front door to like get into like our hallway. So I come out of the elevator and I'm walking up to like the elevator door and I see him and a girl walking in front. So I open the door and I go to like walk in the door and he literally looks back and does a hop through the door so the door shuts, like rushes through the door so it'll shut, to the point where if I would have like just reached out, I would have caught the door. That's how close I was to the door. So I literally just like, I was like, nice. And literally as the door slamming on me and I say, nice, he kind of like looks back. That's so close. He heard me like under my breath be like, nice. So I like open the door, go in. I literally am so close to him. Like I almost give him a flat tire just because I was that pissed. I was like, I'm going to step on your freaking shoe. And I was just like staring at him. So in my close friends, I'm like, I wanted to like flick his neck. I was like so mad because it was so infuriating to me.
Yeah.
But the kicker is he was with a girl. So he held the door for the girl, went and jumped through so like it would shut on me, right?
Yeah.
And I was just mind blown because that would be the biggest turnoff to me if I was dating a guy and I watched him go out of his way to slam a door on a girl's face.
Yeah.
We would be having a conversation about it. And I would have rushed back and opened the door and been like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. You know?
Yeah.
But that would be so weird to me. And so I just was so triggered by the whole thing. I'm not joking. This guy, he's only lived there like a month, maybe 2 months. And at least 15 times the doors slammed on my actual face. Like, and that's not even counting the other times where he like goes through the door and just like doesn't hold it for like 10 seconds.
I really hope the next time you see him, you're in front of him.
Yeah.
I want you to slam the door in his face.
That's the thing. So one time I was opening the door and he was right there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, sorry. And I stepped back and I held the door for him. Did not say one word, just walked through the door.
He didn't say thank you?
Not one word, walked through the door and goes.
Absolute
and
trash.
I just, something about this man, I'm like, I want to stop him and be like, is there a reason? Is there a reason? Like, is this just really hard for you? Or are you just like...
But like
a terrible
that's
person.
the whole thing. Even like the most douchebaggy people that I have met in my life will still say thank you to someone who opens the door for them.
Or even like a nod, a silent nod, or anything.
You don't have to speak. You could smile.
No, it's just,
you could just say,
literal silence every time we're walking in the hallway together. Literal silence. But I don't know what it is about it feels very aggressive when a door slams on you.
Well, also 15 times. Like all of these things on their own would have been like whatever, but all of it combined,
it's like it's got me.
What's wrong?
It's got me, man.
What's wrong? What did Taryne do to you?
But yeah, I was curious if that would affect you, like if you watched Jackson do something like that.
Yeah. I mean, I can genuinely say I've never seen him do anything like that.
No, never.
He always goes way out of his way to like help whoever,
or even like when
with bags.
He'll be like he'll walk over and he'll bring like you a water and me a water.
Yeah,
like he's
or
just,
like help with our bags.
Which do guys not understand? That is like literal like catnip to us. Like we're just like,
even my dad has always been like that. Just like the most. It's what it is it's caring. Yeah, and it's
common
polite,
decency,
and it's just like. It's being aware that there's another human there.
Yeah.
And it's something that your mom tells you about when you're 5.
Yeah.
Like that's what's so crazy is it's so normal and natural that it's odd that he hasn't done a single one of those normal things.
No, it's super weird to me. But anyways, yeah, I was very triggered. And so I was telling Ash about it and she's like, we should talk about this.
I was like, that's wild.
Yeah. Manners, man.
Manners, man.
Manners, man.
Today's title.
Manners, man. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the stories.
Yeah, let's do it.
I feel like every time we're back, we're like we go all over the place.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my fault. I'm definitely bringing
No, Ash.
all over the placeness.
It's me
to
too.
Today's episode.
Okay, I thought this one was fascinating, and I don't know if we've talked about this before. I think we've talked about like this general topic, but this is very specific.
Ooh.
Okay, so the title of the story is How Do I Tell My Parents I Want to Get Tested for OCD?
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Taryne and Ash. First, let me start with how much I love your podcast. I don't relate to everything, but most things I can apply in some small way to my life. I love having little friends in my ears every week. But anyways, let's get into my problema. So some background. I would like to stay anonymous, but you guys can, of course, know my name. It's... Please bleep that, Michaela. I am a 15-year-old sophomore in high school and in somewhat rural. That word's hard for me.
Yeah.
Rural.
Yeah.
Rural.
Like if I was learning English, that would trip me up.
It's like, it's not Louisville. It's like Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Rural.
Rural. Montana, meaning plenty of people live on little farms, but many people live in the growing town/city. But anyways, I was in about probably 8th grade when my friends started to point out some weird habits I have, such as undoing spins and matching footsteps. They joked that I was OCD, and so did I. But in freshman year, I really started to notice more small habits that I never really thought much about before. Over time, my quote-unquote OCD tendencies, as I call them, have really began to affect me on a daily basis. I know it's not like bad OCD. I don't think that if I don't do this, then something bad will happen. But I will think that I just have to do it, but there's not like a reason. Mm-hmm. There are so many ways these habits affect me, but I'll only give a few examples. I forgot to remember which way I left an area. And when I go back, I am forced to remember the path through the desks, for example, and I never get it right. And it just sits in my mind that I didn't follow the string. She put in quotes, the string. I've done this one for as long as I can remember. I also take a specific number of steps between the cracks in the sidewalk. And if it's an even number, then I get frustrated because my feet aren't being first on a block an even amount. I curl my toes / squeeze my limbs or close my eyes tight sometimes when I feel like I need to. But anyways, these are just some of the reasons I think I may have OCD. And I've expressed multiple times that I would like to be tested because I feel like knowing for sure would not only validate the ways this complicates my life, but also I could come up with ways to help myself. The habits are so severe. They are the reason I can't keep long nails, which is a massive insecurity because the thought of scratching anything ever makes me want to rip my ears out. I can't explain the feeling, but if you know, you know. As I'm writing this, I'm thinking of so many more ways my OCD tendencies impact me. I have trouble writing because of the feeling of pencils on paper and some pens too. I don't know, there are many more, but they make my life super frustrating. They also tend to get worse with bad mental health. I've been in and out of eating disorders for a year and a half, and the habits intensify even worse, and my mental health has been pretty bad this year due to personal problems, so they are constantly bothering me. However, anytime I talk about getting tested, my parents blow it off. Sure, I'm not super obvious, but I've said multiple times, oh, so-and-so thinks I need to get tested, and so-and-so couldn't believe I do these things, but they've also joked about it. My parents have said that if I start touching corners, they'll put me on meds, and I do that sometimes. So I know they've noticed my habits. Plus, I don't have the dream relationship with my parents. It's more of a you do what I say because I'm a parent situation. And I love my parents to death, but I just can't see a world where they'll really try to understand. If they are against something, then they're just closed-minded and won't hear anything about it. So I guess my question is, how do I make it so that my parents will take me more seriously when I ask to be tested for OCD, and how to make them really try to listen? I hope this wasn't too long or way too confusing, but any advice I would love. And if you don't read this on the pod, it did feel good to express how my tendencies affect and complicate my life. Thank you for being weekly dopamine and helping me get through some really rough patches. Sincerely, Anonymous. And then she sent us a picture.
I love pictures.
She's so cute. Look at her.
Oh, great hair.
I know.
Great
I'm jealous. Just cutie.
Wow.
Yeah, this one's rough.
I love this a lot because I agree. I feel like this is a very specific thing that we haven't necessarily discussed on this podcast. I think with stuff like this, everyone is different.
Yeah.
Everyone is different. And I think you have to listen to yourself and really sit down and maybe make a list of exactly what you need. A couple of years ago, my whole family went through this whole kind of a rebirth of ourselves.
Uh-huh.
We all got into therapy. We all started really discussing like finding out things about ourselves. We found out my dad is autistic. We found out he is OCD and has ADHD. We found out a lot of things that my mom struggles with too. And so then me and my sister did our own work, and we were like, oh, we for sure have hints of all of these things, and in different variables and in different variations of it. Like I very much relate to the even thing, like the right side versus left side. And I have to count steps. I don't know why, but I always do. But what's interesting, Alicia had to, and I mean to her core, go see a doctor about it and get told that she has it so that she can take it seriously and learn how to work with it. I didn't care to go see a doctor because I was like, I know I have that. I don't have to question it. I'm going to Google and do research on my own.
Yeah.
And both of us did our own things that we needed to do to learn how to better live our lives. And I think if you can somehow explain that to your parents, that hey, maybe you don't care about seeing a doctor like me. Maybe it doesn't mean anything for you to hear someone official say it, but it means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I need you to understand that in order for me to live my life to the fullest, I need to get this tested so that I can for my sister, I think it was that way she could put a little bow on it. She knows what she has and she can move forward. Yeah. And I think if you can somehow articulate that to your parents, they'll take you more seriously.
I think with your sister and I think with her, I think sometimes you can be aware that you might have something, but you've already found ways to cope and function in life with those things kind of there. But when you're at a point where you're like, this is deeply impacting me being able to successfully do A, B, or C in my life. Yeah. And reaching out and saying I need help because I can't do this on my own is something that's very needed for most people. And so I think that I think the diagnosis is a key to more for the right kind of therapy or if medication's needed or whatever. But I think if you feel like you're at that point, which it sounds like she very much is at that point, then I think you have every right to push as hard as you can. And what's hard about this situation is she's only,
I was just going to ask how old she was.
she's 15.
Yeah.
So she can't just like go do it on her own, because I will say, I mean, my parents are so supportive, but I think that there is a lack of, like, in their generation, mental health was like not a thing.
In their generation,
Not
they
that
were
it
told to
wasn't-
suck it up a lot.
Yeah. It just wasn't like identified. And I think every single one of us has something that's could be diagnosed or could use therapy or interventions, you know? But I remember when I first started going through depression and telling my mom I needed therapy, and she wasn't dismissive, but she was just kind of like, you could tell she like didn't understand how much I was like, I'm losing my actual mind. Like, I need help. Like, I feel like I'm falling apart.
Well, especially when you're in that position and you're feeling overwhelmed, you're not necessarily saying those words.
Yeah.
I'm falling apart. My life is falling apart around me. You're saying, I think something's off.
Yeah.
I might want to go see therapy. And I feel like they're like, oh, well, you're fine.
Yeah, like you'll be fine. Like, just pray about it, just talk about it, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But and I will say, I've noticed I've had a lot of people in my life, because I've been very open about the fact that I'm getting tested for ADHD. And I thought this was very concerning, because I feel like I've made a very big push of being very honest about mental health and like stuff I've struggled with. And so when I've talked to people about how I'm getting tested, I've had so many people kind of like laugh it off. Like, oh, Taryne, you do not have ADHD. Or like, oh, Taryne, like you're being so dramatic. And even like my parents are like, what? Because I think when you hear ADHD, you think of very specific types of behaviors. But all of the research and stuff I've been doing, like, it's just crazy how different it presents in women. And
spectrum.
Yeah. And I've done so much research about it to where I'm like, I very much feel like I'm falling in this area. And I want to get diagnosed to know, like, should I be doing certain things to like help with it? And it's been really interesting to see kind of a pushback I've got, or it's not negative, but it's very dismissive and very like almost like, oh my God, here she goes again about something she's struggling with, you know? And I know. And it's funny because I'm a grown adult. I've become so open and vulnerable about my mental health stuff. So it doesn't really impact me. It's more I'm just like, okay, like I roll on the inside when people say stuff. But I can't imagine as a 15-year-old, you're probably scared about like what's happening. You like literally are not 18, so you can't just like make decisions on your own.
Right.
So I can only even try to understand how overwhelming that feels.
Yeah.
And I think that what Ash, new nickname alert, what Ash kind of like touched on, I think that you've really got to figure out a way to say it with your chest. You know what I mean? Like not just
asking,
like
I'm telling you.
I'm struggling with this, or, oh, so-and-so said I should get tested. Like I would literally find an online test. I would find an article that writes it out. I would,
they're free.
They are. They're free.
That's how I
totally
know I have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would go to them and I would say, hey, can we talk? I would put this stuff out and I would say, I know that you guys think that I'm crazy and that I'm being dramatic about this, but I need you to hear me when I say I'm really struggling. It's really impacting my life to the point where people are making fun of me at school. I'm not able to concentrate in class because I'm freaking out about I didn't take the right path. Like practice your speech and be like, even if you do not think this is a thing, I really want to go to my doctor and just start an initial evaluation to see if I can get help because I'm not doing well.
Something I want to add on to what I said beforehand is obviously I didn't find this out until I was 30. I was a terrible student. I did so bad in school. I struggled so hard focusing. I was given a note taker in class when I was a sophomore, because I was so bad in school, my counselor recommended that so that I would be able to focus and have someone else writing my notes. So I would like copy their notes. If I had learned this at that age, I feel like I would have been a much better student. And it breaks my heart thinking like how much of my high school and college years I thought I was just like a terrible student and dumb.
Yeah.
When like if I had been given the opportunity to get tested and learn this, I would have been able to have someone teach me different learning tactics. I think on my own I was able to eventually learn that, but not until a lot later. So I would love for her to be able to have those tools now.
Yeah. And not without a lot of damage that did to your confidence. Like I remember when you would like mess up at school, or when you would talk about a grade, or just like deadlines would come in school. Cause when I first met you, you were still in college. Cause me and Ash, you know, we took the 7-8 year route, you know. C's get degrees, baby.
Exactly.
But yeah, so I think that I watched a lot of how that you took that inward. And that's the thing with women who struggle with learning disabilities and certain things like that. That's one of the number one things they say is they struggle with depression, anxiety, eating disorders, because you go internal and you start to think, oh, something's wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm a bad person. Why can't I get it together? Because we're so good at just masking what we feel and what we're struggling with.
Yeah.
So I think Ash is totally right. I think a lot of why Ash doesn't need to go get a formal diagnosis is she's like through a really hard time. Like, I don't want you to diminish what you went through, because I've heard about how hard school was and how much that like impacted you. And I'm so proud of you for like finding your way through that. No, seriously, like I don't want you to step away from that, because that's hard. And I think that's something these coming generations are so freaking lucky for, because all of us, like it wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing back then. Like the only kids that had help in class had really, really severe things going on.
Yeah.
And so a lot of us that had little touches of things, or like, you know, my brother is almost positive he was dyslexic and struggled a lot in school. But it's the same thing. He's like, why do I need to get diagnosed now? Like, I've figured out how to like fake my way through it. And I mess up on numbers here and there, but like I'm fine now. So it's one of those things that I think a lot of us figured out ways to cope. And other people, especially you as you're young and you're in those formative years, like these are the times you need to like jump on it. So I would definitely put your foot down.
Yeah. My toughest subject was math. And Mr. Smith, my geometry teacher, was the only math teacher I ever had my entire life who told me he wanted to start giving me verbal tests.
That is like so sweet.
It's the most bizarre. No one ever mentioned it before. He was like, I think it'll help. And I was like, because everyone told me I had test anxiety. And I was like, okay, well, what the hell am I supposed to do about that? I have to take tests. He was the only person that ever did that for me. That was the only math class I ever got an A in.
Exactly.
Literally the only one. And I should have then been like, okay. Like something's
now knowing what we know, like I'm like, okay, if someone had to like have someone take notes for you, if someone had to verbally read a test, like now, and I mean, that's literally what I do for a living is like early intervention. But I'm like, even now, most people would be like, oh, there's probably something there with processing or like verbal or like whatever. So it's just one of those things that we're way past. Nobody should be ashamed. Nobody should be embarrassed. Nobody should be looked down.
Everybody learns the same.
No, everybody learns different. So that I want to make sure that you're walking into that with confidence of knowing like nothing's wrong with you. We just got to figure out what tools are needed to like help you.
If I could have taken a test and them tell me, oh, it's a processing thing, you just need to get your test done verbally, I probably would have graduated college in 4 years.
And what's nice is the second... Girl.
The way I said that was so funny.
It's fine. Continue. Everyone's like, what college do you graduate from? I'm like, well, I went to 4. So technically, yeah. But the thing is, and this is what people don't understand, and people are so avoidant of getting a diagnosis in place. The second you get a diagnosis, you have access to everything. Yes. So if you went into college,
your teachers have to give you
saying, hey, I have an auditory processing disorder or whatever it is, then now people are required to either have you read tests or have like whatever it is. So I feel like this is a good time for you to jump in, because if there can be little things built into your day that can help you, or if it's getting like a behavioral therapist to help you work on how to overcome like those tendencies, I think it would be very valuable. So I would push.
And what amazing tools to bring it to take with you to college. Like if high school is hard now, college is going to be just as difficult, you know? And especially if you're in a bad mental health season, what if you have that during finals in college?
No, seriously.
You know? And you want to walk into college and your career, because this is all stuff you'll take your whole life into your career as well. And you want to be able to bring all the tools that you possibly can so that you give yourself the best possible opportunities.
Yeah.
And I just want that for you. So I feel like if you could somehow articulate all of that, maybe write a letter. We've talked about writing letters and how that's easier sometimes when having conflict or having to voice your opinions. Maybe do that with your parents, but make it clear that you are not asking them, you're telling them you need this. And if they still say no, that's a problem. Then I would say go to your school counselor and mention that.
I'm not joking. That was like marinating in my mind, and I was just gonna say that of like,
because they can be like, hey, your daughter is showing these things.
Yep,
we're recommending her go do this, and then your parents will probably take them seriously.
Yeah, no, for sure. I was gonna say, if you talk to a counselor and just tell them how much you've been struggling with stuff, and see if maybe they can also write a referral that, hey, we're recommending that she gets assessed.
Yeah, the school might even have something available.
No, yeah, I would definitely push, because there just isn't time in life. There really is not time to avoid things.
No.
Like, I just think it's not. Yeah.
Rather deal with it now.
Yeah. But I think this is going to be good for you. I feel like you should really, like I said, I've been saying it a lot. I told Ashley the other day, what did you say? And I was like, Ash, say it with your chest. But that's been like my new saying this year, because I don't know what, obviously I didn't make up that phrase, but I don't know where I heard it, but it's been like, what's that word? Ruminating in my mind.
Marinating.
Because I just feel like there's so many things that were like, oh, I'm sorry, like, I can't do this right now because I'm a little busy, or like blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm going to walk in and be confident with, if I feel like I need something, I'm going to say it. Or if I can't do something, I'm going to say it with confidence, because we don't have time.
No. And this is a great
2024.
Great reason to practice speaking it with our chest.
Say it with your chest. Come on, Ash.
I tried.
Say it with your chest. Good luck with this, Anonymous. If you want to, give us a little update, we'd love to know. And I'm sure you are not alone. And also make sure you're being nice to yourself.
Yes.
And taking care of yourself, because
100%.
You mentioned mental health a couple times. So while you're on it, be like, I also need therapy. Yes. I also need this.
Let's just do it all.
Come with your list of demands.
Let's just do it all.
Say it with your chest.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, mine is titled, He Married the Wrong Girl. Did he?
Story of my life. Story of my life.
I'll take her home. I drive all night to keep. I almost lost it.
Inside.
Okay, let's go ahead and dive in. Dear Taryne and Ash, hey girls.
Hi.
For this story, I would like to be anonymous, but my name is. I love that name.
They don't know, Ash.
I do. I love that name.
No, we had to believe it. They don't know.
They
so
don't.
They're like,
but
okay,
I personally,
we'll rub it in.
I need you anonymous to know that I love that name.
Yeah.
I have been listening to your podcast since the very first episode, a day oneer. I look forward to listening to it every week on my walks. Before I begin, I will share a little bit about myself and apologize in advance if this email is too long. And in advance, it is not. Y'all need to stop apologizing for long emails when they're like a blip.
We should just post what a long email is that we get, because there's some of them that I'm like, I don't remember when I started.
There's been a couple that are like novels, and I've been like, wow, that's a long email. Yours is not.
Not that no offense to those who write
long
emails.
We asked for the details.
We love the deets.
We can't get mad at that.
Yeah.
She says, I have spared none of the juicy details for you guys. I am 23 years old. I'm an Enneagram 2, which means you have a Taryne personality. And I am originally from Florida, but went to college a few states away and moved back to my hometown during the pandemic. She adds in parentheses, you'll see why this may be important later on. As I mentioned before, I went to college a few states away from Florida and loved my experience, even though it was cut short due to the pandemic. Now, I had been at this school for about 2 years pre-pandemic, so I had a couple years of normalcy before the actual shutdown. During that time, I became very close with friends. This one guy in my dorm, let's call him Justin, specifically. Justin was the sweetest, kindest, most wholesome, and caring person, and he and I were inseparable. Justin and I always kind of had those more than friends feelings for each other. However, we never acted on it and just continued to be best friends. Justin started dating someone else, we'll call her Hannah, and ended up proposing to her back in January of 2023, even though she had just broken up with him 2 weeks prior because she wanted to see other people, which did not sit right with me.
What?
I know, what a wild turn of events.
Huh?
You get broken up with and you get back together during the proposal?
I feel like you have heard of people who like will go on a break and then they realize like, oh, that was stupid. We were fighting for, and they like move forward, whatever. Yeah. I still think a proposal right after a potential breakup is weird.
Yeah.
But that reason?
Yeah.
Like, I would like to break up because I just want to see what it's like being with other people.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Yeah. She wants to date other people.
I'm sorry. If a guy told me
and gets a ring 2 weeks later.
If a guy said with his chest, Taryne Renee, things are going good, but I just want to see what it's like.
Yeah.
With another girl.
Okay, bye.
I would be like, that's great. Now you have all of them.
Yeah.
Without
Take
me.
your pick. I'm not it.
No. And then if I decided to give him a chance after he's done with his little romp around, we're talking years before I'd get over that.
I mean,
ever.
I would. She gets a ring 2 weeks later. So part of me is like, did she have like her like one night stand and feels better and wants to like go live her life now?
She did something sketch. And now she can say it without technically lying, but she's messing up the timeline.
The whole like, were they on a break? Were they not on a break?
I love conspiracies. Continue, because I'll get stuck in this.
So Anonymous says that did not sit right with her. Fast forward to August of 2023, Justin and Hannah get married. I went to the wedding and had so much peace that Justin was not the one for me after all, and it brought me the closure that I didn't know that I needed. However, when I asked him at the wedding reception how he felt about finally being married, his response was, good, I guess, but you look like a dream.
Huh?
Which I thought was so odd of him to say, but brushed it off as it probably hadn't sunk in for him yet. It's been a couple months now, and he's been keeping in touch with me now more than ever. I asked him how his married life had been treating him, and his response was, well, I couldn't have my first choice because she moved back to Florida, so I'd say it's going all right.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, should we say that again?
Wait. I've never, the 0 to 100, like that's a 0 to 100 moment. Wait, what?
Skirt? Yeah. He said, well, I couldn't have my first choice because she moved back to Florida. So I'd say it's going all right. Married life is all right. He's a newlywed.
Nope.
Married life is supposed to be fantastic for the first, 6 months at least?
Well, also, like, you're just writing that out?
Just it's like they must have been texting or emailing, or this was via DM. It wasn't in person, so he literally.
But he also did kind of hit on her at his own wedding. Yeah. So
fascinating. We'll continue. To which my response was, "What the is that supposed to mean?" And he never responded.
Dude, it's so funny. I've had that so many times with a guy where they'll say something, and I know it's a fishing. Yeah. It's like how she responds
will tell me what I need.
Will tell me where I'm going to go with this. And then I know right away when like I don't respond the way they want because they're like, skirt, change the subject or block, unfriend, whatever it is. And
Anonymous said WTF, and he goes,
Yeah, he was like, I'm so sorry.
can't keep going with this
Oh, I'm
conversation.
sorry. Who is this? Who is I talking to?
Oh my God, this is the wrong person. So
I'm
sorry.
drunk.
Yeah. He continues to send me flirty messages on Snapchat all the time.
Oh, wait, this is happening on Snap.
I guess so.
This is happening on
which
Snap.
makes it even like sketchier.
Nobody snaps.
He's a
Unless
snapper.
they're trying to get a piece of it. Just kidding. But seriously.
She adds in parentheses, of course, because they go away. So yes, he wrote it out, but it's no longer there.
Oh my gosh.
A safe place for him.
This is sketch.
When I called him out about these messages, he told me that he and his wife are currently not living together because his office is 4 hours away from their place, so he only stays there on weekends. Unnecessary information, I feel like.
Yeah, but like, oh, so you're lonely.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just like
Yeah.
give you a little ego boost.
No.
Like, what kind of excuse is that?
Yeah. No. Then text her. Snap her. He also told me that he thinks he may have married the wrong girl, along with a lot of other inappropriate information that I do not need to know about, such as details of their, quote, not so great sex life. The audacity.
The
audacity. My question for you is, do you think I am wrong for being so incredibly confused and conflicted by this? Answer. You're not wrong.
I mean, no.
You should be incredibly confused and conflicted by this. We don't even need to discuss it. Like that's
well, the conflicted is where I might have a different answer. But I want to hear the rest of.
Conflicted makes yeah. Let's hear the rest
of it.
Let's hear the rest. We'll come back to confused, conflicted.
Well, I'm gonna say
the biggest thing for me is that I don't understand why it's being brought up to me by him, knowing that there is absolutely nothing that can be done about these feelings now.
Because he's selfish.
Yeah. I can't exactly cut him off because our families are friends too. But I also don't feel like it's my place to say anything to his wife as I do not know her well and I am not a threat, especially living so many states away. I love Justin like a brother and hate that he seems to be so unhappy. Again, sorry this was so long, but I greatly appreciate any advice you have on how to process this, and just typing this email helped me so much. Love you both so much. Love, Anonymous.
Okay.
So, again, I do think we need to remember she had a massive crush on this guy during college. So it makes sense that she's conflicted because she does and did have feelings for him. But I think she's handling this right because she's calling him out for his talking, essentially.
Everything that has come okay, here's the thing. Okay, I have so many thoughts. This topic triggers me a lot.
Yes.
If you're new here, I've talked about this many times. I have been the unintentional, I did not go into this wanting it. It never was my intention. Other girl by guys that have put me in that situation without me knowing a couple times. And so I get very triggered by men that do this because I think it is so disgusting how they draw in these women because they're bored, they're feeling some type of way, whatever. They bring them in to get some type of validation or whatever. They reach in and stir up a bunch of chaos in these girls' lives and then drop them feeling disgusting, feeling used, feeling like guilty because they did stuff when in reality, like those girls weren't the ones in committed relationship. They didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
But I think for him, there's no way he didn't know you had feelings for him. So for him to be coming into your life,
pulling you in with this little dangling
so
little
selfish. Yeah. And the thing is if he was gonna leave his wife, if he wanted something to happen, I think that he would do it. But reality is this guy's probably not planning on doing anything. He's just wanting to get a rise out of you, to like have you send him certain things, whatever. And it just really bothers me because you're over here defending, well, he's a great guy. He's one of my greatest friends. It's not like I'm going to cut him off. When I'm sorry. And again, I might be a little harsher because I get very triggered by this. He has no respect for you
or his wife.
He does not care about you as as a friend, as a person, for him to drag you into this thing and to expect that you don't tell people, to expect that even though you've been like, hey, what are you doing? And he continues to do it. He does not respect you.
No.
And for me, like, I think the confliction I think you're feeling is probably because you did have a prior relationship. You did care for him.
It makes sense.
But for me, if I'm seeing the way that a guy's acting like that, first of all, you're not my friend. Like, you're not treating me like a friend, so I'm not going to want to pursue a friendship. Second, I'm not conflicted about how I feel about you anymore, because why would I want something like that? Like, You're literally married, and telling me that you married the wrong person and telling me I look hot on your wedding day when I'm asking, oh my God, you're married. Like, you don't respect your partner. So like, why would I want that in a potential partner?
Yeah.
So I think for me, the way he's acting would cut him off. And I get your families are friends. I get you might have to continue being in each other's lives. But I think for me, I would have hit my point where I'm like, I don't feel comfortable continuing to talk to you. And I probably would block him and move on. I don't know about telling the wife. I think that's a personal choice.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would, especially if I didn't know her. And it sucks because it's like nothing technically has happened, but he has definitely crossed a line.
It's getting very gray.
Yeah. But I think for me, I would encourage you to find space, because as someone who has been through that, the amount of damage that comes from being that other person that is so easily accessed and discarded, it's really tough. And I mean, Ash can tell you this just from watching you remember how bad it was, like when I went through that with.
I didn't know you then, but I know
you
about
didn't,
it.
but I mean, I feel like it was very fresh, and I had like talked to you a lot about it.
Yeah.
But it's funny, to this day, when that situation gets brought up, I still have so much anger in my heart towards him, versus like my ex that we were actually together for 4 years had like a bad breakup.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish him well. I wonder how he's doing. The other guy.
Because it feels like you were wronged. It's a different, it wasn't.
He made me
there was
feel
no love there.
Like an actual piece of trash.
Yeah,
like a dirty piece of trash. The way I was like discarded, and like when I found out the whole everything, like it just was such a terrible feeling that left so much damage to me, because I'm such a person who tries to not ever hurt anyone and would never do that to another woman. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's just really hard to watch that person then go on and live their life and then announce they're having babies and are so happy in their life, when you just like were like, what just happened? So I just would be very careful, Anonymous. Like, obviously it's your choice if you're going to continue to be friends or to keep him in your life or keep talking to him. That's your choice. But I would be very careful, because you're going to start racking up that damage, and that's not fair.
Yeah. Well, luckily, Anonymous says that going to the wedding was the closure she didn't know that she needed, and officially knows that he wasn't the one for her. And I love that Anonymous is responding like, what the to his comments.
Yeah, like, what are you doing?
I love that you're not like just sitting there being like, oh, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? So I love that that's your reaction, because that should be. But then
after that, isn't that where she says, but he won't stop sending flirty messages after that? So he obviously he's not fazed by her being like, hello.
Correct. Yes.
Which is not her fault. Like, I'm proud of her for doing that.
Correct.
For sure.
Yes. I think you are at the perfect spot that Taryne was saying, where something needs to be dropped, like the hammer needs to be dropped. I think you need to definitively, and maybe even over text, not Snapchat. Like, this needs to be taken very seriously. And I feel like Snapchat just doesn't feel serious enough. Like, send him a quick text. It doesn't need to be long. It doesn't need to be over exaggerated.
Snap, then send the text. So it's like, nope, you have nowhere else to respond. If you want to respond, it's on paper now.
It's on paper now. And like, she can screenshot what he says. And I feel like all you have to do is be like, hey, bud, like,
old pal.
I am sorry to make this, or not. Don't apologize. This is not your fault. I take the sorry.
No, I love that. I love that catch.
But I would just text him and be like, I don't feel comfortable with the snaps that you've been sending. You are a married person now. And as much as I love you as a friend, I don't think I feel comfortable moving forward with our snaps. Like, please don't reach out. and
I would use the word
keep me separate.
disrespectful. I'd be like, I think it's disrespectful to me and your wife the way you've been talking to me.
Yeah. And I would just leave it blank like that. Like, it doesn't have to be mean. You can just be like, best of luck in your future endeavors. Hope you work out the marriage, horrible sex life that you have.
You can Apple Pay him $100 and put on the caption for marriage counseling.
Yeah, seriously. And then just be like, I would prefer to like not hear from you again, or I would prefer to no longer continue our snap conversation.
Wait, also, have we not even mentioned the fact that he is telling this person that he's saying I should have married you instead?
Yeah,
intimate details about why he's not satisfied with him and his wife's sex life,
and
like,
that he lives separately during the week.
Can you imagine as a
Meaning
woman?
you can come hang out with me because she's not here. That's exactly what that means.
Literally,
no one needs to know that.
Can you imagine, like, if you were married to someone and not only is he talking about your sex life with other people, but he's using that as a way to tell another girl, I should have been with you.
Yes.
That is the most like heartbreaking, I feel like, detail of everything.
Yeah. And I really do want to like make sure like I understand why you're conflicted if this is a family friend, like someone you genuinely have cared about for a while. But like, this is actually in his best interest to be called out, because it doesn't sound like he's ever been called out if he has the audacity to do this.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like that happens often in his life. And I feel like as a friend, as someone, if you do care about him, which it sounds like you do, then he needs to be slapped in the face really quick. He just needs a quick little like, hey, you're married. You don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I get that. Unfortunately, it sounds like if he's the same age as you guys went to school together, then he's also 23, 24. And that sounds like a very young age to get married. And I'm sure he's just like, was this right? Was this wrong? She broke up with him 2 weeks before. Then they got engaged. It sounds like he might have made a poor choice.
Yeah.
But he has to sit in the repercussions of those choices. That's his life.
Yeah. Also, I'm a firm believer in, I feel like if people are bold, like this married guy that's like sliding into Snapchat to tell you like, oh, my marriage is terrible, I should have been with you.
Yeah. He's bold, but he's sliding into Snapchat.
Yeah. I'm glad you caught that. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but my mind always goes to, you're probably not the only one.
No.
Like, you're probably not. Like, these guys that seek that attention and that little danger and flirting and whatever, like, it's happening across the board. So that's why I hate that you're giving him so much, like, benefit of the doubt and consideration when, like, he's not doing the same for you.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to mishear when I'm like passionate about it. It's more that I'm angry for you, like, and I'm being protective of you.
It's not fair. It's putting you in a very unfair position to have to have to hear any of that, because no one wants to hear that when you've had a crush on this guy.
No, I know.
Like, that's cruel. But then also to disrespect his wife and you at the same time, I think just goes to show that his character.
Yeah.
So thank God you dodged that bullet. That's a win in my book for you. And I think this is a great opportunity to say it with our chest.
Say it with your chest.
And let him know that it's inappropriate what he's doing and you're not going to put up with it anymore.
Dude,
and also, what a way to leave a guy's life.
Yeah.
To be like, listen, bro, that's a solid no. You're never going to hear from me again.
Yeah.
And like, hope you get together. Good luck. Like, that's
Seriously.
the best way to walk away from someone that you used to like and just be like,
what an actual, I feel so bad for his wife. Like, imagine like at the wedding, she's over talking to like his parents and like talking about the honeymoon, whatever. And he's over telling another girl she looks like a dream.
Yeah.
And that's whatever.
Yeah.
That I'm married.
Yeah. Dear
oh,
God.
So sad.
I'm so sorry, Anonymous, that you're in this position.
Yeah.
I love that you're calling him out for his already. And I think just a really firm say it with your chest moment and then block him on Snap, because I do not want you getting in any kind of gray, sticky situation with him, because that sounds awful.
Well, because I'm telling you, he's slippery.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you that if stuff came out the way he would spin this so fast on you, I would not underestimate it. So I
100%.
I think that you got to start thinking about yourself, because he's not thinking about you.
No.
And what he's doing to you in this situation. So
not at all.
I just want to
100%.
Yeah.
Just punch him.
Yeah.
Kill him.
Say it with the chest.
This is my death threat. Murder. If he goes missing, the cops are coming for me.
Shut up. Us in the court. Like, we're seriously, two stupid girls.
It was a joke.
We don't know why we're on the internet. Your Honor.
Your Honor.
I'm stupid.
But thank you so much, Anonymous, for writing in. You're definitely not the only person who has been in that situation before. So I'm sure other people are sitting here going,
starts breathing fire. I hate men. Anyways, it's almost Valentine's Day. No, I'm just kidding.
It is almost Valentine's Day.
I know. I actually love Valentine's Day, but
it's your favorite holiday.
It is one of.
You love Valentine's.
By the way, I'm gonna do a Galentine's, and I want you to come because I'm gonna do it.
I'm so excited.
I'm gonna do it that Friday. So I'm not going to do it on Valentine's because then everyone who's all loved up, which like, congratulations, can't come. So I'm going to do it on Friday.
To. That sounds
I'll send
so
you the
great.
deets. Yeah.
I hope we make pizzas again. Or again. But like, I want to make pizzas.
You want to make pizzas? Okay. We can make
But
pizzas.
we also don't have to make pizzas.
Okay.
I'm just craving pizza.
Anyways, guys, we're so glad to be back in the studio, even though, you just heard from us
last Monday.
A week ago.
For us, selfishly, it feels great to be back in the studio.
We love you all so much, and we can't wait to talk to you guys again next week.
Pray for me.
Oh yeah, pray for Ash to get better.
Thanks.
If you guys want to know how to support us, the best way you can do that is to subscribe to us on Supercast if you want extra content, or if you take a quick second to rate, review, subscribe to our podcast. Also, like, shoot this episode to a few friends.
Yeah, send it to some family members, send it to some friends. We also have a fun comment section on Spotify. We have a really fun comment section going on there. So check us out there. Subscribe. We still have merch available.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Follow us on socials, and that's it.
Yeah. We love you guys so much.
Should we end it with a dad joke?
Oh my God.
Taryne?
Whoa.
She thought.
What just happened?
She was really about to just bounce.
The fact that you just remembered to remind me is actually impressive. How can you tell if a tree is a dogwood tree?
If it barks. It has bark.
By the bark.
By the bark.
Ashley.
I'm getting good.
Dude, I'm telling you. But okay, now that you get it, do you understand like what you were missing?
Well, to be fair, my first instinct was like waggy tail. And then I was like, that doesn't make sense. And then I said bark just by happenstance. And there was no logic. It was just like it just happened. And then
you can't think logical. Like, it's so stupid because it's so like the bark, you know?
Well,
anyways.
Are we 2 in a row right now? Wasn't that the last time I got it right?
Oh, I don't know. No, because
damn, it would have been fun to have a streak.
Last time I said one, because last episode we let Sam and John
well, last time
one.
you said one, I got it. So then I do have a streak.
You do have a streak.
So,
challenge accepted. I'm gonna stump you next time.
Good luck.
I'm on fire. All right. Anyways,
love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.